Well, I will say, Matt, it's been exciting. 22 years now, turnkey marketing, starting as turnkey events. What an awesome run, bringing total prepackaged, and really the perfect part is our name is exactly what we did, turnkey events. So bringing people events that had everything they needed to be successful.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, we've come a long way, right? We started off, if you remember, we were doing newspaper inserts. Do you remember those days? Yeah. 100,000, 200,000 newspaper inserts, trying to plan with every newspaper, delivering on the right day, making sure they're getting in the homes the right days. That was a long time ago.
What's interesting
that's
is
how we started this.
Is the delivery method has changed in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
the person hasn't changed.
No.
People still just want to see, if they see something that motivates them, that solves their need, it has some scarcity and some urgency to it, you can get people to show up.
That's for sure.
In fact, I think maybe arguably the best event we ever did was First Texas Honda, and it was just a one-day only Wednesday sales event.
Yeah.
Auction event.
The auction event. Yeah. So the method, obviously the things that have changed the most over the years is just the methods of delivery, right? Starting off with to direct mail and newspaper inserts, and now
look
we're all the way into the digital.
Still here, but it's evolved.
Oh, for sure.
So
now it's
one of the things that probably a lot of people don't know is how advanced direct mail can be now, right? So you still have the traditional side that it's a printed media, and you have a list that you send it to, and yes, the post office is generally the people who are delivering that to the, into the mailboxes, into the customer's hands. But now with informed delivery, being able to take a digital asset, a digital image of the ad, and be able to put that to the customers through the United States Postal Service, which is crazy because we're sending a mailer, but then the United States Postal Service is actually emailing the customers an ad. So I think that's...
you get a wake up in the morning, you get an email that tells you what mail's coming, and got a image of what we're trying to present to them in their email box, as well as their...
Do we get a lot of clicks on that? Do people click on
the click-through rate is fairly large. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been, the subscribers to Informed Delivery is growing on a daily basis, and in every area you're in the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of people that are getting an email every morning. The technology that has brought the ability to market better over time is incredible. So
yeah, and I love when we get to do it right, when you could take the mailer and let's say you're utilizing that means to get a message, and you could put, say, a QR code that takes it from a print connection to an online connection and be able to get people to a site or to somewhere where they can take the next step. That's really cool. And then what about, one of the things that'd be great to show everybody is this new technology that's with the mail, where we can embed a button into the mailer now. That one, when we can actually get launched,
that's going to be incredible. Yeah, that technology is incredible. Yeah. No, it's amazing where we can go with this stuff, and the opportunities we can present to our clients, and the ability to bring what our clients needs directly to them is incredible.
So we were just talking 22 years now, turnkey marketing, and we started in Riverside, California.
3 people,
yeah,
just the 3 of us sitting in that office.
Yeah, not a lot of people know, but one real fun, just by coincidence, our first office that we got, we rented it from a gentleman named Dana B. Horn, and he was actually purportedly started the very first auto mall in the U.S., or one of the first, the Riverside Auto Center. And so he actually owned the building where we officed it out, and we had no idea that there was some connection to dealerships or automotive when we
That's right, I forgot about that.
And the office had brown shag carpet. The walls were wood paneling. There was no insulation between them, but
we were on the 2nd floor in the corner, and in that old building on Magnolia and Riverside. Yeah, that was awesome office to start out at.
Yeah, I feel like we needed a smoker's jacket. We would have put in real well.
Yeah, back in the day, whoever had that office before us, they were smoking away in there.
But it was fun from humble beginnings. I mean, we started out, we got, a whole set of cubicles, computers. I think we were set up to have 8 people or so right from the very beginning, even though when there was only 3 people.
Yeah.
It grew quick.
So yeah, we had the 4 cubicles, that front desk, and
so now
2 offices.
We've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offices now. which is great. Our main office is awesome. We bought this one, what, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, 2016. Right?
2016.
Yeah.
So now
9 years, almost 9 years.
2-story, nearly 10,000 square feet. And then we have a team all across the U.S. Just come a long way.
Yeah.
So
From 3 to nearly 70 is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, that's for sure. What's interesting though is like, I think, like this is the kind of fun part about this conversation is like the mission really hasn't changed if you think about it.
No.
Right? Like we might have changed the tactics. Maybe it's like through technology, we've been able to like, I mean, God, we were like always, we used to always get told, like young kids, a lot of people didn't recognize the benefit at the time of social media or websites or anything like that. But the goal has always just been the same. Our clients just want to sell cars or
Right.
sell their products or services. They just want their business to thrive. And have always been focusing on driving opportunities to our clients' business, whether that's in person or online.
Yeah, I mean, as a business, our goal has always been the success of our clients, right? And however we go about doing that is we go through every aspect, we find every method, because the success of our clients is the success of us, right?
Yeah.
Without that, we're nothing. So yeah, finding the solutions is what we are good at for sure.
And I think like if I had to learn one thing and tell somebody, I think, it's really important to have. We got lucky because, as opposed to say some agencies or some supply, or marketing firms that are out there that are from say the TV station or the newspaper, like what we used to see, or we're just like a direct mail house. They weren't necessarily able to be flexible to transition and shift to how consumers want to be informed or want to engage.
Yeah.
We're like, do we really care if it's direct mail's working or it's TV or it's radio or it's digital or social?
Yeah.
We don't really care. We just care what works.
Are you successful? Yeah. Are you succeeding? That's what we want to do. And one of my favorite things, that Drake used to say all the time is, we're large enough to serve you, but small enough to know you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a huge one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
And we've always been that, we're large enough to have access to everything that helps our clients succeed, but we're still small enough and nimble enough to make the transitions in real time, quick time, making adjustments quick and fast.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, we always say, it may not be our fault, but it's our problem. So
yeah,
I love that part.
Yeah.
So,
And
so let's see, we went from, our first office, we talked about how it was kind of neat because even from the beginning, even when, we didn't even know that the owner of the office complex that we were renting from, that he had started that, Riverside Auto Center. He was like one of the largest owners of land in Arkansas, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So it was kind of neat. We've had such a huge tie to say automotive or retail businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, obviously we've got more into service businesses, e-com, all different types of businesses, but it's all kind of been the same thing. Everybody still just wants, how do I generate opportunities? I think the mystery that everybody's still trying to solve for is I love, that whole saying of, I know half my advertising's working, I just don't know which half.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always been a really important thing for us to continually try to figure out is how do we get attribution so that we can pull the right levers, right? It's not about like looking good. It's about getting the result. And if you don't know what's working, then how can you really drive a better result?
Yeah, how can you do a good job if you don't understand what you're doing? And obviously that is, something that we strive for, is to make sure we understand what is the right thing, what is driving the best results, and really push towards that. Because like I said, our client success is the only thing that keeps us moving. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I could think of a funny story. So remember the office that we had on Trade Center in Riverside, near University of California, Riverside?
Yeah.
And it got so hot in that darn building. And we had 2 stories and we had a warehouse in the back. And we were set up as, here we're a marketing agency, white collar, blah, blah. We didn't really need the warehouse, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, to be creative, you have to also have outlets and places to have fun. So we had your drum set in there. We had a keyboard. We had I think a half stack for, you know, guitar. We had basically a full setup to be a band. We had at one time air hockey table, pool table. Did we have a ping pong table?
Yep, we had a
Okay.
ping pong table.
And we had the basketball.
the basketball hoop.
Man, there were some serious battles with that.
Oh man,
We had a couch. We had your grandma's couch or something like that, right?
yeah, that office
coffee table.
was that office was special, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Barbecue.
do you remember that office in the dead of summer? It's 115 degrees outside and the AC not working.
I know.
Eric, you walking around with your shirt wrapped around your neck. I mean, there was some interesting moments in that office, but god dang, we had some good times for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I think another good memory is like just how involved we got with our clients. So like instead of just doing the advertising, how we've gone out to like, let's say, I mean, God, we've had so many great clients over the year with like Michael Donahue, with the Fredland's Auto Center, Mark Christopher,
Yeah.
you know, those ones being actually out on the ground, and we worked the event.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was never part of the deal.
Scott Hutton in Memphis, you know, we all flew out and participated in the event and helped run that event. Because being hands-on is something that we've always been.
Yeah.
You know?
Greeting customers, registering.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember sitting out at Mark Christopher myself, sitting at the desk in the front, registering people as they come in, and you know, trying to make sure that the event was as good as it possibly could be.
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
One of the fun aspects was also going from really focusing in and performance marketing and driving opportunities to our clients to then owning a dealership too, and finding out, wow, there is a lot of pieces that all need to work together to make it work. And what a great experience. I mean, learned so much from that.
Oh, for sure.
And you could say, you know, but unless it's your,
you don't even know
online
to
and
know.
you've
You don't even
invested
know
the
what
money.
you don't know
Yeah.
until you're actually, you know, in the weeds and doing the stuff that you have to do to run a dealership. So yeah, that was definitely, and I think it was a great opportunity for us, especially, you know, to better serve our clients, right? To understand the insides and outs of how dealership runs.
And actually, probably the most surprising thing about that was that I found out for the first time ever, I never really understood that you can actually generate too much opportunity.
Oh yeah.
So we did that first sale, or one of the first sales, when we had too many people show up at the dealership. So we had
'cause
people
then
waiting. We didn't have enough salespeople to manage the customers. And we probably didn't even have enough inventory for the amount of people.
Yeah.
I mean, so there is a whole thing. You always think like you just want more and more and more. You get me thousands of leads. I hear from clients all the time, you know, like, get me as much as you possibly can. But there actually is a point to where you could actually you got to get the right amount.
Yeah, you don't want to burn any customers or frustrate any customers, and understanding that balance is always it's a challenge that we love to take on. So, but crazy to think, right? We've been doing this since we were young men. Now look at us now. Look at us now. We're old men.
Sure,
Gray hair
off. Yeah.
You're bald. I'm gray.